My 600-Pound Life shows a variety of different contestants, all struggling to keep their weight at a normal number. Whether it being genetics or overeating, patients hope to lose weight with help of Dr. Now. Today, we are looking at some of my 600-Pound Life patients who cannot stop eating. Be sure to watch this entire video, as you won't want to miss out on these people. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss a single upload. Nikki Webster. At 640 pounds, just simply taking a shower was a huge struggle for Nikki Webster. Every morning she would wake up and immediately become exhausted from just walking down the stairs. When she was 33 years old, Nikki realized she had a very fatal addiction to food, and that she seriously needed to get help as soon as possible. It all started when her parents let her eat whatever she wanted and didn't control it at all. They even sent plates of food up to Nikki's room. After her first checkup with Dr. Now, Nikki had a new diet and also did a lot of exercising. Luckily, she was able to lose enough weight, got her weight loss surgery, and even met a special person, of which she married. Now weighing 230 pounds, Nikki is much happier and lives a much healthier lifestyle. Brittany Fuller. Brittany Fuller is almost completely unrecognizable these days compared to how she looked when she appeared on TLC's My 600-Pound Life. She suffered from obesity, and she was worried that her husband was disgusted by her. This was all caused by the fact that she simply could not stop eating. Apparently, she spent 6 to 8 hours every day eating food and laying in bed. In fact, when she was at her peak weight, Brittany admitted she was consuming up to 35,000 calories on some days. That is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, it was a lot harder for Brittany to lose weight because she had thyroid cancer and problems with her immune system. She was diagnosed with these problems at just 19 years old, and it really took a toll on her weight loss efforts. However, she didn't give up. Brittany managed to do a great job with Dr. Now and managed to lose 300 pounds. That is definitely a great ending for a sad story. Angel Parrish. Upon her first appearance on the show, Angel Parrish weighed a whopping 570 pounds, riding in a wheelchair and relying on her boyfriend, Donnie, for everyday needs. Obviously, Angel wanted this to change. She said that her eating habits had been triggered by the trauma of placing a baby for adoption at age 14. And it got worse when she gave birth to a child with Donnie at a young age. Donnie knows this and went so far as to say, via the Daily Mail, that she just stopped living after their son Andrew was born. He threatened that if she didn't get help, he'd have to leave her and take Andrew with him. Sure enough, Angel appeared on the show to get some help and lose the weight she and her boyfriend needed. Parrish changed up her diet immediately and ended up losing over 150 pounds. She then proceeded to receive surgery from Dr. Now, which cut off another 300 pounds from her body. After losing the weight, she reflected, "It's been a long time since I could look at myself and see someone that I thought was beautiful." She even stated, "I wake up and it's not to eat, it's to get Andrew ready for school." Amber Ratchety. When she first appeared on the show at age 23, Amber weighed about 660 pounds and felt like an ugly, gross monster. According to many doctors, odds were she wouldn't live to be 30 unless serious changes were made. A majority of her weight came from her legs, as she said she couldn't stand for more than 30 minutes at a time before it became unbearable. She even had to move from the apartment she was living in to her parents' house because she could no longer take care of herself. But her parents only made things worse by letting her eat too much food. Her diet consisted of 4 giant meals, and she ate a bunch of candy in between meals. She had been battling with her weight ever since she first started gaining weight at 4 years old. But until she fixed her mental issues, she admitted she continued to eat and eat even when she felt completely full. However, luckily, after she joined Dr. Now's program, Amber was able to quickly lose weight and get rid of her old bad habits of overeating. She eventually made herself a much better person, but let's just say it wasn't easy for her. June McCamey. McCamey appeared on My 600-Pound Life with what her girlfriend called a fast food addiction. Longtime partner Sadie was buying fast food for McCamey on a daily basis, sometimes making up to 3 trips out a day in order to avoid confrontation. "She acts like an addict," Sadie said. When June first appeared on the show, she stated, "I feel imprisoned into my body. I have 3 seats, the bed, the bathroom toilet, and my chair. My world is confined. I feel suffocated." Well, My 600-Pound Life was just the show for June, as she ended up losing over 200 pounds from the works of Dr. Now and her dietary changes. "I'm way more mobile than I was almost a year ago. I'm not sick like I used to be," she said. "I'm truly enjoying life again." Sean Milliken. Sean Milliken weighed more than 900 pounds when he first appeared on the show. He actually remains the heaviest person to ever appear on my 600-pound life. Sean's weight fluctuated greatly during his time on the show, and at one point, he reached a shocking 1,003 pounds. That is absolutely insane to think about. At one point during his weight loss journey, Sean had lost about 400 pounds from his initial weight. However, his mother Renee continued to feed Sean unhealthy foods against Dr. Now's instructions, thus contributing to Sean gaining back every single pound he had lost. And his journey went completely downhill when Renee passed away due to kidney failure in 2017. Beside the devastation from his mother's passing, Sean seemed to be on the right track. He became very emotional when expressing his fears about not living past 30, had he not got his weight down enough. Unfortunately, after a long time of what seemed to be good progress, Sean was taken to the hospital in February of 2019 due to an infection. He sadly didn't make it, as he passed away, but his story is definitely motivating, and it's crazy to believe that he weighed over 1,000 pounds, yet stayed on track to lose his weight. Lisa Fleming. Lisa Fleming's episode of My 600-Pound Life was a particularly hard one to watch. One of the most awful things shown in My 600-Pound Life happened during one of her episodes when her daughter discovered that literal maggots were living in the folds of her skin. Even the fan outrage over her was enormous, thanks to her stubborn ways. Lisa was seen eating a bowl of Fruit Loops in bed, while paramedics built up a wheelchair ramp outside of her home. Well, that's not the worst. She appeared to always keep ice cream near her in reward for her husband performing sexual favors, and even threatened to take her own life if Dr. Now didn't listen to her issues. She even refused to follow the diet she was given. In the end, it turns out Lisa was one of the rare ones to not receive weight loss surgery. And well, I think you all can guess why. Holly. At just the age of 16, Holly was raped, and the experience really sparked her weight gain, which would continue to get worse and worse later on in her life. By the time Holly met Dr. Now, she weighed 658 pounds. She struggled a lot for the first 5 months in Houston. She quickly started having troubles with Dr. Now's diet, and admitted she was having a hard time both following his diet and not lying about it afterwards. Her fiancé, Ray, had to do regular things every single day for Holly. He said Holly's meals were enough to feed 3 or 4 people. The close-ups of her eating were pretty gross and insane to look at. Ray would make her breakfast with extra eggs, a side of sausage, as well as biscuits and gravy. And for a second breakfast, well, the two would go out and get fast food. She had 2 dinners as well, both with over 1,000 calories each. I just don't understand how someone can eat that much. James King. When he arrived on the show, James King weighed in at a whopping 790 pounds. At the time, he was actually the heaviest person to ever be featured on the show. He also had a severe case of cellulitis, a painful skin infection. Additionally, King's family had made some huge sacrifices for him, including his daughter dropping out of school to care for him, and his father refinancing his home to get him to Houston. Now, James was someone who was very delusional about his current state, and it didn't really help out that his wife supported this from James. In fact, his wife would bring James high-calorie foods that he requested while he was in the hospital with Dr. Now for his weight loss plan. She was sneaking the food in behind Dr. Now's back. While he was in the hospital, James kept gaining weight very, very fast. Instead of losing weight, King actually weighed in at 840 pounds. Dr. Now stepped in as he knew what was going on, and even told James and his wife that he knew she was sneaking in food for him while James was in the hospital bed. Of course, James tried to play this off and even cussed out Dr. Now, stating that he had no idea why he was gaining so much weight. Eventually, Dr. Now told him to leave if he wasn't willing to adhere to the program. Well, in his follow-up episode, things had not improved. Just recently, about a month ago, James King unfortunately passed away. And while an exact cause of death wasn't revealed, King had a history of health issues which may have contributed to his passing. And we can surely say that King's weight gains were not helpful in his case at all. While it's definitely a sad loss, we can't say that James was the nicest and most comprising guest on the show, as he was rude as could be.